Hi, Jeff here today to talk to you about sensing and playing with energy, like subtle energy. What is that like when you're trying to discover or find or feel energy? Well, I'll give you a few pointers or tips on how you can begin to feel what subtle energies might feel like, what they might feel like. So, the hands, the fingers, we've got lots of good nerve endings in your fingertips. So, that's a great place to learn to begin to sense and to feel subtle energies. So, if you has anyone maybe you recall ever seeing the movie The Karate Kid, right? You remember Mr. Miyagi did a big clap and rubbed his hands when Danielson had a bad knee, and he rubbed his hands and then he put his hands on his knee and generated this healing, and Danielson was able to go back into participate in the karate competition. So that essentially what you're doing by slapping or creating friction or rubbing of your hands is that you're just generating friction, you're generating heat, and you're stimulating those nerve endings and bringing about a sense of sensation and feeling. So after you've done that, well then those alive and nerve endings give you a sensation and a feeling. And with that, then you can explore in practicing to feel or sense that. So there's several ways to activate your hands, and I'll just give you a couple, 3 or 4. And then you can, what I would say, once you've activated your hands in that way, then you can kind of play with it. Like see if you can move your hands around and feel or maintain the sensations you've created, which might come across as a warmth, which might come across as like a density between your hands, or a tingliness through your hands, like pins and needles almost, that kind of thing. And the more you play with that, you can explore, like, can you feel that? And maybe it only lasts for 5 or 10 seconds. Well, maybe the more you play with it, well, now it lasts 30 seconds. I can keep those sensations and feelings going in my hand. Or now if I move my hands apart and near, I start to sense or feel more. Like if I spread them out, maybe it lessens, but as I bring my hands closer together, I can feel more. Almost like you're pushing 2 magnets together, and you can feel that force of two magnets opposing one another and pushing against one another there. So you may be able to sense any of those types of things in your hands. So one simple one is to clap and then rub your hands, and as long as you want, but if you do it for like 5-10 seconds, that should be enough, and you separate your hands and you probably sense some of that warmness or that tingling or that vibration or pins and needles kind of effect in there. And again, you can play with it in any way that you like after that, or after sensing it or playing with it. Another would be, you can think of your nail beds, the nail beds on your fingers, the ends of your fingernails. If you fold your fingers in, you can rub the nail beds against one another, your fingers across one another, and generate or stimulate the nerve endings at the ends of the fingertips. So you got lots of meridians that begin and end on fingertips. So there you are, you're activating meridian lines, or the ends of meridian lines, but now maybe because you've worked with the fingertips more, so you might sense that and feel that more around the fingertips. But there's some of that there, that density or that energy or that sensation. There's something there to play with. Another is just activating the musculature in the fascia of the hands and fingers, flexing, close, and extending open, flexing, close, so you can just get like any kind of motion, open and close, whether you want to do that fast or quick, or slowly with a big squeeze, and open with a longer, nice extension of the hands. But if you just do that, again, you're stimulating the musculature, stimulating the blood flow, stimulating the lymph flow, and then that when you stop, you're no longer moving those parts or using those parts, but there's something there then that's left behind, right? That's that energy, that subtle energy that you're sensing and feeling tingling through there. And we'll give you one more for today then. If you just let your hands kind of go limp from the wrists or hang, you could simply swing your hands and shake your hands. You know, if you've ever gone to a washroom and there wasn't any paper towel or a towel around, and you might do that over the sink or on the floor, maybe you have done that. But you could do this. So again, we're fluffing up the hands, shaking the hands, and you're generating more lymph fluid and stimulation toward the fingertips and the hands again and the fingers, and then you can separate there and feel what you might feel. Certainly there's more blood flow in that, but with that, there's that sensation of that subtle energy, and it's so cool, it's so amazing. And then you can play with it, right? Like, how long can you keep that sensation or feel it and work with it? So there you are. There's a few techniques for playing with and sensing subtle energies, all to your benefit, that maybe you use those then to place on your shoulder, or place on your heart or your hip or your knee or something else that maybe wasn't feeling so good, and you just want to generate some subtle energy and then apply that to that space. Setting a good intention helps, right? Having good belief behind that, oh, I'm putting my hands on this space or place or in or near it, and I'm sending in positive vibes, or good energy for the benefit of that healing within that space. So there you go, playing with subtle energies. Enjoy, and we'll see you back. Thanks for taking the time to watch. We'll see you back again sometime soon for the next video, or who knows what the topic will be, something around energy medicine in some fashion or some way. If you haven't and you'd like to subscribe and follow along for any upcoming videos as they come, please do. I'd be glad to have you on board. And if you are unaware, I do offer energy medicine sessions and EFT tapping sessions, and I do have some circle ceremony group settings that I do offer. And you can look at the description below to find more information about those things. So if you ever want to get in touch, you can look at the description and find me there. Thanks. We'll see you again real soon. Bye for now.